Step in my dojo, you
Step in my dojo, you
step in my.
Hey, what's up? It's ill.gates coming at you from the studio with some more free and ad-free tips. If you like these videos, please like, comment, subscribe, share the video with your friends, click the little bell. All that interaction lets me know that you care about these free videos and makes me want to make more of them. All right, so let's talk about the long haul. This is something that you don't see people talk about that much because you know why? They're trying to sell you a magic pill. They're trying to sell you a magic pill that, this sample pack is going to make your music amazing. Buy these MIDI files so you won't have to write your own music or do anything. There's lots of these products out there because people don't want to think about the long haul. But you know what? The long haul is going to happen anyway, whether you're making music or not. Okay? You are still aging. You are still aging. You're going to age whether you're making music or not. Your life is a long haul. Okay? So we might as well think about it because unless you're planning on dying immediately, you're going to be in it for the long haul. Right? So why is the long haul important? Well, the long haul is important because basically each one of your tracks that you release is going to have a life of its own. And if it comes back to you, a lot of the time it's going to be like years later that that track comes back to you and yields opportunities. I mean, for example, the other day I ran into a fan who was a family member of Thelonious Monk, the famous jazz pianist Thelonious Monk, who is one of the first people to embrace happy accidents. And, I believe he famously said, that once is a mistake, twice is music. Awesome. Awesome. Right? We would not have wonky, glitchy, funky, jazzy stuff if it were not for Thelonious Monk. So, I was like, oh man, I would love to remix Thelonious Monk. I got to get in there. And it became time to impress the Thelonious Monk relatives who were the ones with the keys to the samples. And I sent in a whole bunch of tracks to try and open that door. And the one that opened the door was off of my first album from 2008, a track called Colors that, it did me pretty well back then, but it was 2008. And now I find that this track, and not any of the new modern tracks that I've made, was the one that opened that door. Crazy, right? Likewise, I found out years after putting out, pretty much every one of my albums, the reason why I like putting out albums is because you get a lot more stylistic freedom and you can put out weird experimental tunes on your album at the end. So most of my albums have a bunch of weird experimental down-tempo songs that I put out because I like them and wanted to put them out, but never really thought much of them. Well, years after doing this, like a good 6 to 8 years after I did this, I found that there was a dance crew in Santa Fe, New Mexico, home of Meow Wolf, that loved specifically the weirdest songs I ever put out, and not really the rest of my music. But they love those weird-ass songs, and they choreographed an entire, awesome costumed dance performance using, 6 or 7 of the songs and made this whole, dance performance that they were selling tickets to and, touring with and all this stuff. They're called Anna and the Anna Droids, and they use these tracks that never went anywhere when I put them out. But later, 6 years later, so I think 6 to 8 years later, they ended up becoming the backbone of this amazing, modern, crazy dance performance, right? You don't get that kind of feedback. Those kinds of things are going to be a lot more fulfilling for you than a play count or, when you put out a track, you're inevitably going to be kind of like comparing it to the other tracks that came out that week. And there's always going to be other people that are more successful than you. And, you know, play counts are satisfying, but having a track bring you back something, having your track like go actually touch someone's life and finding out like, oh, this was their alarm clock, or their you know, this was their parents died and this, your music was their happy place, or, you know, this was their first dance at their wedding, you know, stuff like that. What those moments, they don't come back right away. You don't find out that feedback right away. This only comes years later. So if you're approaching music and you're like, yo, you know, I'm going to put everything I can into this shot, and I'm going to take my shot, and, you know, it's get like a year from now, I'm going to be on the top of the charts and blah, 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 blah. Chances are that's not going to happen right away. And if you are just relying on like the play counts and stuff for validation, it doesn't come back that quick. But the real validation is when your music really affects one person, and you don't find those people right away. And when you do find those people, you got to treat them real nice, and you gotta really show them that you care, because those people are your true fans. They're your true fans. You know, you might get froth fans right away, a few of them, but the true fans and the people where your music is a soundtrack to their life, you don't find that shit out right away. And the tracks that they like will totally surprise you. It might not be the tracks that you thought everybody was going to like. And that feedback does not come right away. But if you stick to your dream and you keep putting out music, and you just like, you make the music that you really feel needs making, you're not just trying to trick people into liking you or thinking you're famous. You make the music that needs making, and you keep it real and keep putting it out, you're going to find these just like specific individuals that your music just touches their life, and they're going to let you know that you touched them, and that is going to touch you way more than any chart position or play count. And that doesn't happen right away. So yes, the long haul is long, but the rewards are oh so sweet. So please be patient, stick to the honest artistic vision that got you into this in the first place. Keep making honest music from the depths of your soul, and it will touch people, and those opportunities will come. They just don't necessarily come right away, and a lot of the time it's just something that you could not plan. So have faith in your music, just keep it real, stay passionate, stay hungry, keep putting out the best music you can, and it will come back, just not right away. All right, lots of love. Peace out.
It's like that.